Everyone, back to you in today's video. We're going to have a look at weather for the next 8 to 10 days in today's video, which will be taking us up to the 1st of August, can you believe, into the final month of the summer of 2014. Of course, summery weather can extend on into September and October, as we know, but statistically it's useful to have a defined period when dealing with the statistics, and that is the 1st of June to the 31st of August in terms of the summer. So, yeah, into the final month of summer with this video, and a pretty good summer it's been so far as well. I think we're seeing a change to somewhat cooler temperatures though coming up over the weekend into the start of next week. So if you're fed up with the heat, if you don't like the heat, there is some good news for you in this video, because I think the temperatures will be lowering. Probably not all that for all that long, but I think the temperatures will be lowering as we go through into the start of next week. Now, before I get on with the video, just want to make advertise there's video ads on my pages at gazweathervids.com. You could hit play on the video ad, you'll be helping to support gazweathervids.com. Thanks very much for doing that. Essentially, it pays for me to sit here and talk to you via the website. So if you can hit play and see what the video ad is about, you'll be helping to support Gaz Weather Vids. Thanks so much for getting involved and doing that. So let's start off with the 500 millibar height and hourly flow charts. Next 8 to 10 days. So this will be taking us to the 1st of August, day 10. The ECMWF here is on the left, the GFS is over on the right. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere where weather is taking place. High pressure and low pressure being moved around by the jet stream. That essentially is what weather is, the movement of air by the jet stream. The orange colours are extrapolating to above average heights, that's high pressure. The blue colours are extrapolating to below average heights, that is low pressure. So we see it for 8 to 10 days time. We've got quite a vast area of above average heights extending through the Atlantic into the British Isles and on up to Scandinavia. Now this is an anomaly, and this could start to change a little bit as we get through to the very end of the period, but overall a lot of anticyclonic influences keeping going with these areas of above average heights over the next 8 to 10 days. Now, just very quickly clear that and point out that we've got this deep trough of low pressure setting up on both the ECMWF and the GFS here over the North Pole. So that could start to bring somewhat cooler air down into Scandinavia. In particular, it could start to change pattern a little bit and bring some energy down into Scandinavia as we get through towards the very end of July and into the start of August. And that could just start to filter that cooler air down, shift back cooler air down, and push the above average heights, or centre the above average heights of high pressure out in the Atlantic a little bit. I'll show you the charts in a moment to show you how this slightly cooler air is going to start to filter down. Notice that both the ECM and the GFS want to develop this deep trough, or deep for the time of year, trough of low pressure into the east of the United States. Been a very cool summer there so far across the populated areas of the eastern states. That looks like continuing and being strengthened a little bit actually as we go through into the end of July and the start of August. Another trough bringing cool air down up there. Have a look at the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line here is where the temperature average is at this time of the year. We're above average with the temperatures right now, set to stay above average for at least the rest of this week and on into the weekend. But notice this dip away taking place here as you get through to the start of next week. This is the 29th of July just here, and temperatures are going a little bit below average in terms of the upper temperature. Now that will be offset by the strength of the sun. So down on the surface where we are, I don't think it's going to be turning cooler than average away from the north anyway. But I think we will certainly notice the temperatures lowering off. It will feel cooler and fresher for a few days, I think, early next week. But then the idea is, as we get through next week, we actually start to lift those temperatures back up a little bit again. Probably not getting into the sort of hot category that we're in at the moment, but nevertheless, certainly warming up a little bit more as we go through the first week of August. A lot of dry weather to come over the next few days as well. There'll be precipitation spikes. Not much going on until we get through towards the weekend, where we could bring some thundery showers in. But really a lot of dry weather coming up, and that extends out really into the start of August, this 1st of August just here. And then we do begin to bring the precipitation spikes back in a little bit, associated with perhaps with that lift in the temperatures. But of course that's at the extended range of the GFS model, so it's unreliable. I think certainly for the foreseeable future, quite a lot of dry weather, very warm if not hot, before we get that lowering off in the temperatures over the weekend into the start of next week. Here's the temperature anomaly for the coming week, the 22nd of July to the 30th of July, showing that we're above average, and it's no surprise having seen that temperature ensemble. There's the cool air in the east of the United States, again below average temperatures there. The warmth is in the west, but of course that's not greatly populated out in the west, but real populated areas are over towards the east of the states, and that's where they're having a pretty cool summer this year. The precipitation anomaly, the rainfall anomaly for the coming week, the 22nd to the 30th of July, shows drier than average, and again it's not surprising having seen that ensemble. So here's the GFS generic chart as we go through in Saturday. High pressure is firmly in control. This little trough down to the southeast could just bring some thundery showers in across southern parts of the country on Friday and Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that, but really the overall big picture is the high pressure still being in control, pumping in that warmth. As we go through to Sunday, though, that high pressure begins to pull out into the Atlantic, just starting to bring down this northerly drift from the north, and that could begin to lower the temperatures. Start of next week, the high pressure still more or less in control. It's sitting just to the west of the country, centred to the west of Ireland, but now the drift is definitely from a northerly direction. Notice this trough over Scandinavia as well. I showed you how that could generate from the main trough that's over the Arctic. We bring some energy down into Scandinavia in the form of this low pressure, and that begins to lower those temperatures off into the start of next week, particularly to the north and the east, but probably all areas getting a notable sort of drop in temperature for the start of next week. There we are on day 8, a week away, with the high pressure again centred to the west, bringing down that slightly cooler air from north. Going through into the middle of that stage of next week, the high pressure extends back in, so it's mainly dry through much of next week to be lower, temperatures lower than they are now, but still very pleasant for the time of year. By day 10, the 1st of August, Friday the 1st of August, just a suggestion, man, it could be turning a little bit more unsettled from the Atlantic, maybe pushing the high pressure properly away into the mid-Atlantic, but of course that's a long way off, and I wouldn't be at all sure about that. But there was that suggestion on the temperature and precipitation ensembles that things could turn a little bit more unsettled maybe into the first week of August, although not cold. Here's the temperature 850 temperatures, so the upper air temperatures, and we show that by Saturday we're still in the very warm air there across the country. The 10 Celsius isotherm is firmly within the country, so yeah, we're pretty warm if not hot. Notice how the temperatures do lower off though as we go through into the start of this week. By Monday the 28th, the 10 Celsius isotherm there has been pushed right way down to the south of the country. It's actually just lying through the channel off the southwestern approaches, and most areas are in significantly cooler air by the time we get through to the start of the next week. And that's how we go into Tuesday again with the 5 Celsius isotherm there, and that's pretty cool air at this time of year down across many parts of the country, with 10 Celsius isotherm, which heralds the warm areas off the southwestern approaches. So there's definitely that lowering in the temperatures going on. Here's the surface temperatures for Friday, showing that we're very warm if not hot, temperatures in the mid-high 20s, as they are as we go through into Saturday. Could be back up to 30 degrees in the south by Saturday. That's 86 Fahrenheit. But there's that cooler air coming in to the north on Sunday. The temperatures are lowering by several degrees through Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England, although it still is very warm, if not hot, down across the far south and southeast of the country. By Monday, we are all in significantly cooler air. Even in the far south, the temperatures are lowering by a few degrees, though it still is very warm. But most places then, by Monday, are into the teens or just below 20s, so around the 70 Fahrenheit mark, away from the far south of the country. And that's how we go into Tuesday as well, with that significantly cooler feeling weather across many parts of the country. But still, I have to emphasise, it will still be warm in the south, still very, very pleasant. The ECMWF finally shows that we bring down that northerly sort of drift as we go through next weekend, slowly lowering the temperatures off. This is a little bit more of a trough as well, actually coming down from the north with this lowering in the temperature. So there could be some showers on this scenario coming down across the country. We'd have to watch out for that. They could be quite thundery as they get into that south, start to clear the heat away from the south. As we go through into Tuesday, again we're in that northerly drift. High pressure is still more or less dominating this, so it still is lots of settled weather, but temperatures are lower. There could be showers in the east. As we go through to the middle and latter stages of next week, still with high pressure, more or less in control of things. It'll be warm, it'll be pleasant, but probably not the sort of hot temperatures that we have had and we're going to continue to have up to the weekend. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a lot of dry weather, high pressure influences continuing through most of this week into next week as well. There could be showers at times, particularly in the north and the east, but the main point is that the temperatures are going to start off very warm, if not hot, and that's going to carry on into the weekend, certainly in the south, and then start to lower from the north with cooler air coming down from the north, not getting into the south probably until the start of next week. But overall, if you want some cooler air, I think the end of the weekend into the start of next week is going to be good news for you. That's all for now. It's a 5-day forecast tomorrow, so come back for that. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.